You think emotional intelligence makes you loved. It makes you readable. The truth most people never face is that kindness, when unguarded, is not a virtue, it's a strategy leak. The more transparent your emotions, the easier it is for others to map you, predict you, and use you. Every time you show how much you care, how fast you forgive, or how deeply you feel, someone, somewhere, learns exactly how to steer you. The world doesn't punish goodness, it punishes predictability. In every office, relationship, or friendship circle, there's always one person who keeps smiling while carrying resentment, one who apologizes too much just to keep the peace, one who mistakes emotional expression for strength. But what looks like heart often reads like weakness to a strategist. People test boundaries subconsciously. When they find you lack one, they push harder. That's not evil. It's human nature, refined by survival instinct. Emotional intelligence was never meant to mean raw openness. It's meant to mean awareness of yourself and of others. The difference between emotional openness and strategic empathy is the difference between prey and observer. The open person seeks validation. The aware person seeks understanding. One wants to be liked. The other wants to see the game clearly. Most people never realize their kindness is their camouflage, someone else's weapon disguised as virtue. As Machiavelli might advise, appear compassionate, but think critically. Appear calm, but calculate continuously. Emotional control doesn't kill your humanity. It gives it armor. The pure-hearted walk into ambushes because they mistake sincerity for safety. But the emotionally intelligent strategist, they walk through the same world untouched, not because they feel less, but because they reveal less. Remember this, the world weaponizes your emotions if you don't learn control. The emotionally reactive get played first, blamed later. Emotional naivety is not innocence, it's exposure. Emotional mastery is not coldness, it's precision. Now that illusion is gone, it's time to define what ruthless emotional intelligence truly is. The power to feel everything, but show nothing. Before we go deeper, you need to understand something critical. Emotional control isn't about becoming cold, manipulative, or detached from humanity. It's about protecting yourself from a world that profits off your emotional chaos. There's a line between clarity and cruelty, and every powerful mind learns to stand on that edge without crossing it. The goal isn't to harm, it's to see clearly, calmly, and completely. Many people hear words like ruthless, strategic, or Machiavellian, and instantly imagine darkness. But darkness, in this sense, isn't evil, it's awareness. It's the willingness to face human nature without email. Ethical self-protection means recognizing manipulation without mirroring it, defending your mind without corrupting your character. A controlled empath feels deeply but responds precisely. An emotional predator observes deeply but exploits freely. One leads through composure, the other consumes through chaos. The difference isn't intelligence, it's conscience. Being emotionally intelligent with conscience makes you a force for balance. It means you can walk into tense rooms and lower the temperature instead of raising it. It means you can sense dishonesty without letting revenge poison you. That's the moral edge of emotional control, the discipline to choose perception over retaliation. Emotional ignorance doesn't make you good, it makes you blind. You can't fight manipulation with wishful thinking. You can only stop it by understanding the mechanics of power. Those who refuse this knowledge stay naive. Those who misuse it become monsters. You're here to master it ethically, to remain sharp, deliberate, and unshaken. This path isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming fully yourself, minus the noise that clouds your judgment. Calm doesn't mean passive. Precision doesn't mean cruel. It means deliberate. And in a world that thrives on reaction, being deliberate is rebellion. Now that your foundation is moral and your intent clear, it's time to explore the 7 ruthless lessons, the true architecture of emotional power. Empathy has been painted as softness, as sympathy, as the ability to cry with others. But true strategic empathy is the opposite. It's not about drowning in someone else's emotion. It's about mapping it, understanding it, and seeing where it leads. Emotional intelligence is data collection, the subtle art of recognizing patterns that others miss because they're too busy reacting. When someone smiles too wide, apologizes too fast, or flatters without reason, they're revealing their intent. To the untrained, this seems harmless. To the strategically empathetic, it's a confession. Empathy, when understood correctly, is the ultimate intelligence. It allows you to enter another person's emotional world while staying firmly grounded in your own. The difference between emotional indulgence and strategic empathy is survival. The emotionally indulgent react to what they feel, becoming puppets to sympathy or guilt. The strategically empathetic observe what they feel, treating emotion as information, not instruction. Think of a romantic manipulator who uses attention as bait, or a coworker who plays the victim to escape accountability. The surface story draws you in pity, protect, forgive, but beneath that surface, motive and leverage hide. If you can read emotional data without revealing your own, you maintain control. You see through people instead of being pulled into them. As Machiavelli would suggest, the one who understands others' motives better than they understand their own holds real command. Strategic empathy doesn't require deception. It's the balance between feeling deeply and revealing selectively. The emotionally transparent reveal their weaknesses to anyone patient enough to watch. Every vent, confession, or exaggerated reaction is a crack in their armor. True empathy allows you to predict behavior, not to manipulate it, but to prepare for it. You stop asking why someone hurt you and start asking what need they were trying to fill. You stop personalizing betrayal and start analyzing pattern. This shift from emotional indulgence to emotional observation transforms your relationships. You begin to see loyalty as a decision, not a promise, attraction as strategy, not fate. You respond no longer from impulse, but from insight. Strategic empathy turns emotion into clarity, and clarity into stability. That's power, the kind that doesn't need to shout to be felt. After mastering observation, it's time to understand silence and control, the next weapons of influence that reveal just how little noise true authority makes. Silence is not emptiness, it's control. Those who understand this rule quietly dominate every room they walk into. When you speak less, every word matters more. When you delay your response, people start to wonder what you're thinking. That uncertainty is power. The world is noisy because most people are terrified of silence. They mistake it for weakness, but it's actually the strongest form of presence. Noisy emotions broadcast insecurity. Silence broadcasts calm. Every predator, manipulator, or provocateur relies on one thing: your reaction. They test your tone, your timing, your need to explain yourself. If you give them that, you hand over your power. But when you meet provocation with stillness, you break their calibration. They can't read your motives or predict your threshold. And in that confusion, you gain leverage. Whether in negotiation or argument, silence forces others to reveal themselves. They rush to fill the space, over-talk, over-justify, and expose the truth through their own anxiety. It's the oldest psychological trap, and it works because discomfort with quiet is universal. To control a conversation, don't dominate it, slow it. Machiavelli would call this mastery of perception. Ensure people see only what strengthens your position. The art of silence does exactly that. You control what others feel they know about you, and by doing so, you control what they risk revealing. Think of your mind as a still lake. On the surface, no waves. Beneath it, movement strategy, assessment, prediction. Let others ripple the water with noise while you stay composed. There's power in making others wonder what lies beneath. In silence, power accumulates. In noise, it leaks. Responding too fast means acting before you've observed the terrain. The unreadable mind is not emotionless. It's selective. It guards speech like a treasure because every word has consequence. When you can sit in silence during tension, you own the rhythm. Let others chase articulation while you influence attention. Silence is not absence, it's command. Once you own it, the next step is even sharper, mastering emotional charge under attack, where silence becomes action dressed as stillness. Cold reading isn't magic, it's disciplined perception. It's learning to see what's there instead of what you want to see. In every conversation, people reveal themselves long before they think you've noticed. The way they breathe when questioned, the speed of their blink, the shift in tone when they lie, or the micro-hesitation before they answer, these are emotional fingerprints. Most people miss them because they're too focused on being liked, understood, or validated. But for the emotionally literate observer, every detail is data. Cold reading through emotional intelligence isn't performance, it's pattern recognition. You're studying tone, posture, tension, and word choice to identify the emotion hiding behind the story. A confident voice with nervous hands, insecurity cloaked as control, a sudden drop in volume at the mention of a name, guilt searching for escape. The goal isn't confrontation, it's comprehension. You can't protect yourself if you can't read the temperature of the room. Emotional ignorance makes you predictable, perceptive analysis makes you prepared. Imagine an argument with a friend or partner. Most people hear the words and fight the words. The trained observer listens beneath them. The raised voice isn't anger, it's fear of losing control. The sarcasm isn't disrespect, it's defense against vulnerability. When you decode motive, you stop reacting to the surface and start managing the core. That's how influence begins, not by forcing change, but by understanding cause. Machiavelli suggested that the wisest rulers knew men not by what they said, but by what they feared. If you can learn to see fear, pride, and desire before they speak, you navigate people, not chaos. Still, power requires discipline. The purpose of perception is defense, not domination. You read people to stay aware, to choose alliances, to avoid traps, not to exploit emotion for personal gain. That ethical line is what keeps clarity from mutating to corruption. Most people telegraph their weaknesses. They advertise their insecurity through stories, meant to impress, their resentment through jokes meant to disguise pain. Mastering this insight is like seeing X-rays through human behavior. But remember, if you don't read people, you'll always be read by people. Observation is armor. When you see emotional patterns before revealing your own, you become radar in a world of blind pilots. It's not about coldness. It's about control of perception. And once you master it, the next challenge is becoming unreadable yourself through the art of emotional detachment. Detachment is not distance from emotion, it's dominance over it. Most people confuse suppression with control. They push feelings down, hoping discomfort will disappear. But suppression is denial dressed as discipline. True detachment isn't about numbness. It's about awareness without surrender. It means you can feel anger without acting it, experience pain without becoming it, stand in tension without breaking under it. Emotional detachment is not cold, it's composed. It's what allows you to function as the world shakes and still hold your center. Picture yourself seated on an inner throne while storms rage around you. People scream, plans fall apart, emotions surge, but you remain grounded, not because you don't care, but because panic achieves nothing. The reactive victim loses control at the first flash of chaos, consumed by the feeling of the moment. The poised strategist pauses, breathes, observes, and then moves deliberately. He who controls himself controls outcomes. In relationships, detachment keeps love from turning into dependence. You can connect deeply, yet stay anchored in self-respect. In conflict, detachment keeps you strategic. When others lash out emotionally, you become the still point that disarms escalation. In your career, detachment lets you navigate politics, setbacks, and betrayal without melodrama. It allows you to analyze patterns instead of drowning in reactions. People who can't detach become puppets of their own triggers. Their emotions pull the strings while they believe someone else does. Detachment doesn't eliminate feeling, it refines it. You learn to let emotion pass through you like a current, not trap you inside its turbulence. Each wave teaches something if you remain seated at the helm. This kind of control turns pain into perspective, frustration into focus. That's rare power, the energy of chaos converted into clarity. Detachment aligns you with time itself, calm, unhurried. Once you achieve this inner stillness, the next evolution is direction channeling the energy you've contained into strategic action that moves the game forward. Warmth is powerful, but only when it's deliberate. Most people scatter kindness like confetti, constant smiles, endless favors, unconditional approval. They believe generosity guarantees loyalty, yet it rarely does. Forced niceness cheapens its impact, and overexposure kills respect. Strategic generosity, however, functions like controlled fire. It provides heat when needed and commands attention when withheld. The key difference between forced niceness and calculated warmth is intent. One seeks validation, the other distributes value. The person who is warm all the time becomes predictable, easily read, easily used. But the person who chooses moments of compassion wisely becomes magnetic. Their approval feels earned, their praise feels meaningful, their trust feels sacred. Unpredictability commands respect because people value what they can't take for granted. Reward loyalty, don't beg for it. Reciprocate excellence, not expectation. A Machiavellian mind understands that even mercy is most effective when it serves stability. Kindness without discipline breeds dependency. Kindness with discernment breeds allegiance. In leadership, this means celebrating the competent, not indulging the lazy. In relationships, it means giving affection to those who protect your peace, not to those who drain it. Scarcity creates value, even in love and kindness. When people know your warmth isn't automatic, they treat it like sunlight, something to earn, something to protect. You don't have to harden your heart to achieve this balance. You simply have to ration your light. When warmth is calculated, it stops being a vulnerability and becomes leverage. It demonstrates control, awareness, and confidence. Indiscriminate kindness gets dismissed. Calculated warmth compels. Anyone can be liked. Few are remembered. Learn to give light without becoming everyone's lamp, because when everything burns constantly, nothing shines. The world pays attention when your kindness is rare and pure. Having mastered warmth and restraint, we now turn to the shadows to expose emotional manipulation so you can recognize and dismantle it before it infiltrates your calm. Manipulation doesn't announce itself. It flatters first, sympathizes second, and entangles third. It begins with small emotional hooks, praise that feels too generous, vulnerability that feels a little too rehearsed, urgency that demands your attention before your logic can wake up. The manipulator studies reactions the way a hunter studies movement. They identify guilt points, ego triggers, insecurities, and use them as strings. Guilt is their favorite instrument because it disguises control as care. They'll say things like, "After all I've done for you," or "I guess I just care more than you do." On the surface, it sounds emotional. Underneath, it's strategic. Another variant is excessive flattery, the coworker or friend who amplifies your ego while quietly steering your decisions. Or the crisis creator, who uses chaos to keep you reactive so you never question their narrative. All of this works when you misinterpret emotion as sincerity. Machiavellian awareness means learning to separate genuine feelings from tactical displays of them. It's not about paranoia, it's about literacy. The emotionally literate person notices patterns. They see that the love bomber is more obsessed with control than connection. They notice that some apologies are timed, not sincere. Manipulators rely on your unwillingness to seem unkind. They corner you with empathy, betting that you'll choose guilt over boundaries. But awareness ends their game. When you see the machinery behind it, the loops of praise, guilt, and pressure, you disengage without shame or hesitation. You stop explaining, defending, or trying to rescue them. You say less, detach faster, and move on cleaner. What you don't recognize controls you. Emotional blind spots are how predators win. That's why you study manipulation, not to copy it, but to neutralize it. Reading darkness isn't corruption, it's prevention. Ethical mastery means you see both light and shadow, but let neither blind you. When you understand manipulation, you stop being its victim and start becoming your own guardian. Knowing these tactics doesn't make you cynical, it makes you sovereign. And once you can see manipulation without absorbing it, you're ready for the ultimate balance, crafting an identity that holds intelligence without losing humanity. The apex thinker is the evolution of emotional intelligence, a fusion of empathy, discipline, and precision. He's not cold, but composed, not naive, but moral. He reads emotion like code, yet still feels every line of it. What separates him from the manipulator is conscience. What separates him from the victim is control. The apex thinker doesn't chase validation. He commands it by presence alone. He speaks less, observes more, and moves only when the outcome demands it. His kindness has boundaries. His detachment has intent. His silence has depth. He understands that power without ethics corrodes from within. Every manipulator eventually drowns in their own deception. Every emotional fool in their own chaos. Mastery lies between the two extremes. He uses ruthlessness for clarity and empathy for humanity. He can confront truth without flinching, but chooses not to use it as a weapon. That choice, restraint in the presence of power, is what defines wisdom. The apex thinker obeys the internal law. Rule yourself before you rule circumstance. He lives with armor on his mind, but compassion in his decisions. Where others oscillate between emotion and apathy, he holds stillness. This identity is rare because it demands both awareness and morality, both thought and feeling. The path is narrow, but those who walk it shape the world quietly. The world needs fewer manipulators and more masters of self, people who understand that true strength isn't about domination, it's about inner stability. Machiavelli himself would respect the one who can command without cruelty, influence without deceit, and detach without losing empathy. That's the apex thinker, the balance between mind and heart, strategy and soul. This is power without corruption, strength without arrogance, and awareness without despair. Now take this image and bring it into motion, the daily practice of living as both strategist and human, unshaken and awake. Power doesn't come from knowing, it comes from applying. For the next 7 days, make awareness your discipline. Each day, choose one lesson and live it deliberately. One day, practice strategic empathy, listen more, reveal less. Another day, embrace silence, let pauses work for you instead of filling them with noise. Dedicate a day to detachment, refuse emotional bait disguised as urgency. Observe people's patterns, but more importantly, observe your own. Notice when you react, when you hesitate, and when you yield out of habit. Write it down. Patterns lose power once they're seen. This isn't about perfection, it's calibration. Wisdom unused decays into illusion. Power is useless if you can't apply it calmly. 7 days of conscious control will expose how much of your life runs on emotional autopilot. Each insight is a small victory in reclaiming choice. Remember, the point is not to grow colder, but sharper. Ethical awareness means you use insight to protect peace, not shatter it. These 7 days are your rehearsal for sovereignty, not external dominance, but inner command. At the end of it, you'll notice that the world hasn't changed, only your perception has, and that's the real transformation. Hold that awareness, quiet, consistent, immovable. After all, control isn't noise, it's stability in motion. Now, step from practice to presence. The final declaration of clarity and control awaits. Look at yourself now and recognize the shift. You began this journey as someone who felt deeply but was often unguarded, reactive, preyed upon by chaos. Now, you stand as the composed strategist, still capable of love, compassion, and depth, but cloaked in control. Emotional intelligence has revealed its duality to you. It can make you sovereign, or it can turn you into a monster in disguise. The difference lies entirely in conscience. Awareness without ethics becomes manipulation. Awareness guided by morality becomes mastery. Path of control always tempts corruption, but the true ruler of the self resists it. The world won't understand the calm you now carry. because most people only respect emotions they can see. But you'll know the truth. Mastery doesn't need display. It needs discipline. Remember this every time you're tested. Those who control their emotions own their fate. Those who don't become servants to anyone who can provoke them. Knowledge like this divides the unaware from the unstoppable, because few dare to hold power with grace. As Machiavelli once implied, wisdom without restraint destroys itself. You now see through manipulation, through performance, through illusion. Let that clarity be your quiet weapon. The line between monster and master is razor thin, and your awareness is the blade's edge. Stand on it carefully. Reflect on it daily. Comment your affirmation below. I see through manipulation. Leave behind the noise, the guilt, and the chaos. You are not colder, you are clearer. Self-mastery is not isolation, it's autonomy. You feel everything, but you're ruled by nothing. And that's the rarest strength of all sovereignty over self. I feel everything but reveal nothing. My silence is power. Emotions don't control me, I control their direction. I see through manipulation. I lead with empathy, not naivety. Calm is my weapon. I am emotionally untouchable. Comment, I feel everything but reveal nothing, if this finally clicked for you. Which of the 7 lessons will you master this week? Type it below. Drop this line if you're done being emotionally readable. Calm is my weapon.